Hi, it's Fleur here from Little Desert Quilts. Welcome to the Temperature Quilt, and this is Temperature Quilt 2024. But what you can see behind me is Temperature Quilt 2023. So we started this last year, did it for the first time, and I offered two sizes last year, the large one that you see up here, and we also offered a smaller size. So just going to talk briefly about what we did in 2023. So this is the smaller size, and you see those white strips in there are actually rain indicators. So there's always lots of choice of what you want to put in your quilt, what size you want to do. So this is the 2023 design, and the fabrics were available in starter packs. It was a 4.5 inch wide strip to make the large quilt. It was a 3.5 inch wide strip to make the smaller quilt. I also offered the fabric in the 3.5 inch strip in 43 colours pack, or in a 22 colour pack. So this one is actually a 22 colour pack in the narrow size. This one is the wider size, which makes the big quilt, and it's a 43 colour pack. So these were the fabric range, the fabric colours that we used in 2023. Each day is represented on the quilt by two colours, the highest temperature and the lowest temperature. We also record those temperatures. You use a website to do it. You can record them yourself with the lowest, a minimum maximum temperature, but most people are using a website. On my Facebook page, so Little Desert Quilts has a Facebook page called Conniver Block Users. Now, there's lots of information I need to give you, but you understand what it all works out to be. Conniver Block Users refers to the Conniver Block template set, and this template set is what you need to make the temperature quilt. So in 2023, if you made the small temperature quilt, you use the B template, and if you made the big temperature quilt, you use the C template. Now this year in 2024, we're going to use the A template because we didn't use that last year. So then this year's quilt is using the A template. This year's quilt also has a different colour palette available. Now if you want to make the 2024 temperature quilt using the A template and the new design, which I haven't showed you yet, and you want to use the old colours, you can do that. These are the new ones though. Let me launch you the new colours. So this is the 2024 colour pack. Hottest temperatures are at this end, coolest temperatures are at this end. Now this year, all of the packs are 4.5 inch wide. There isn't two sizes this time, there's only one. But I'm still offering a 43 colour pack or a 22 colour pack. So that's what the 22 colours look like. And this is the 43 colours. Same price as last year, but they're all the 4.5 inch instead of having a 3.5 inch option. So that means if you really wanted to, you could grab a 2024 colour pack and still make last year's version of the quilt. You can do that. There's always options. But let me show you some of the, you want to see the new design, don't you? Well, what do? Yeah, let's just have a look. All right, I'm making two quilts again. So I'm making one that has 22 colour option. So one with a smaller colour palette, and I'm also making one with a larger colour option. Now the first block I'm going to show you is using the first. So this one's using the 43. That's right, I've got to remember which one's which. This one's using the 43, and that represents the first week of January. So January the 1st is here, and the hotter colour, the redder colour, is going to be the hottest temperature, and then this colour represents the lower temperature on each day. So we've got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So that's the start of January for the 2024 temperature quilt. But I'm also making one that's using the 22, and I'm going to grab that and show you that one. Also got a bit more done with this one. Got to hold it up the right way. So here we go. Starting at this end, January the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, etc. All the way across the quilt. Now this is using the 22 colours. And the last day that I've got on here is January the 25th, I think. 25th? Hang on, where's my sheet? I've got lots of bits of paper here. And that's always the way, isn't it? I cannot find the one I need when, there it is, on that pile. January the 25th I got to. So this one is representing January 1st to January the 25th with 22 colours. Now, you may have noticed that there is a background fabric in this year's quilt, which we did not have last year. I'm just going to pin him up here so we can see him. So last year we did not have a background. This year we have a background fabric. So as well as the starter pack of either 22 fabrics or 43, you will need to choose a background fabric. Now, I have selected a blue for my background, as you can see. Just going to move that over. I've selected a blue, and that took a little bit of time as well. So I've put together the 43 colours and worked out which ones are going to go in the 22. But I've also had to work out what colour background. Now, you may have noticed that this year's colour palette is very autumnal. And that was my whole point. That was my plan, to make it look like autumn leaves. So I've picked colours that are going to work as autumn leaves. So that's why I chose a blue background. Now, I still had choices of blue. So we're using grunge fabric. So my choices that I looked at were Cosmic Blue, Clearwater Blue. Now, Clearwater had a very greeny tinge to it. And then the other one was Faded Denim. So these were all grunge, Motor Grunge. So they were the three that I chose from. And I ruled out Clearwater for me because it had the greeny bits in it. And I decided that Faded Denim was too dark and I didn't want it to be dark. But I was looking at blue because I wanted it to represent the sky. And then you've got all the autumn leaves showing in the quilt. So I chose Cosmic. Doesn't mean you have to choose Cosmic. You could go Faded Denim. You could go Clearwater. But you also don't have to go blue. If you want to go a different colour, you maybe want to use a mauvey colour. So this one is Lupin. And then we also have Freesia. And we also have, what's this one called? Sweet Lavender. So you might want to go with a lavender. I would avoid reds, oranges, yellows, and the swampy greens, as I call them, that are in the leaves, if you like, of my temperature quilt, because you want the background to create a contrast against the others. You don't want anything to blend in, so I didn't look at any creams or whites because the coolest colours in the pack here have the creams, you know, the creams and the beiges and the browns. Then we get a bit of green, then we get into the yellows, oranges, reds, right up to those darker purples, reddy purples. You could also go with a grey. I'm having trouble with my chair. You could go with a grey, would look nice as well. This one is silver, so that would look nice with those fabrics. And then the darker grey that I just grabbed off the shelf is stone. But you could also have a dark background if you wanted to do that. And I've got some options there. Winter Coal. Now, Winter Coal was actually going to be one of the leaf, you know, one of the colours, and I pulled it out. So Winter Coal would actually work quite nicely with that. It's a very brownish black, if that makes sense. I also have Dauphine, which is a purple toned, and this one was originally in my colour choice, and then I pulled it out. So it's a purpley, dark purpley colour. Grunge Onyx is going to work really well. That's a really good black. Maybe you want to go to a really dark blue, and this is Peacoat. So Peacoat would work nicely as well, a really dark blue. Or if you want to go with a dark brown and say, hey, I want my background to look like the trunks of the trees, then this one is called Bison. So Bison would work really well. I want to show you this though. I would avoid grunge that looks like this or fabric that looks like this. This is Lustra. And it's just got too much fabric, too much colour going on. Don't know how well you can see that, but when you put it up there, I think there's too much colour going on in the background and it takes away from the actual centre point or focal point of the quilt. So I wouldn't use something that's got lots of patchy bits. A couple of other options when I started looking that I thought would work well. This is Grotto. There's not much patchiness going on this particular grunge fabric. So Grotto would look okay as well if you wanted a bit more of a stronger colour. And the other one that I have here is Harbour. So that is Grunge Harbour, and that's a nice dark and bluey colour a grey blue. So lots and lots of different options for the background. So basically, if you want to join in for the 2024 temperature quilt, you need to purchase a conniver block template set. So pop over to the conniver, Little Desert Quilts. Pop over to the Little Desert Quilts Facebook page and order yourself a conniver block template set if you don't already have one. If you've already got one, then all you need is a starter pack. And you need to decide, do you want to use 43 colours? Do you want to use 22 colours? You also need to decide what background fabric you want to use. And once you've done all that and you've ordered it, I'll send them out to you as soon as I can. And then the instructions, they're going to be on the Conniver Block Users Facebook page. So how do you get onto the Conniver Block Users Facebook page? You buy one of these. Some of you are already there because you've done last year's temperature quilt, or you've bought a Conniver Block template set and you haven't participated in temperature quilt yet. That's okay. You can always join. And what else am I going to tell you? So starter packs are available. Pick your background colour and I will tell you how much of that you need. And all of the instructional videos will be on the Conniver Block Users page. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the background and I will tell you exactly what sizes and how many to cut. These are 2.5-inch strips. So a lot of our background gets cut into 2.5-inch strips. And then I counter cut them into 3.5, 2.5 and 1.5. And I just use a plastic plate to store them on. So when I'm constructing, they're sitting there and I'm ready to use them. And here's some other bits that I'm partway through constructing. So simply I write, as I am taking my temperatures from my temperature sheet. The sheets are the link to where you get these sheets from is also on the Conniver Block Users Facebook page. So you just print off the sheet and then you start recording your temperatures, your highest, your lowest. You can record the rain if you want to. I actually haven't put rain indicators into this quilt yet. I will probably do rain indicators in the other one. But rain indicators will be done in a different way this year than last year. And you don't have to do rain indicators. You can also put other things into your quilt if you want to. You can mark special days like birthdays or anniversaries. You can mark occasions like earthquakes or thunderstorms or floods or fires or whatever you want to mark on your temperature quilt on the day that those events occur. We will find ways to do that. If you're not sure how to do that, you can always ask on the Conniver Block Users Facebook page and somebody will give you an idea of what you can use to indicate rain, snow, frost, fog, smoke, flooding, fire, earthquakes, cyclones, all sorts of weather events that could happen to you during the year could be indicated on your quilt if you want to. You don't have to do any of that. The charts on how to make this will go up on the Conniver Block Users Facebook page every month. They're going to look something like this, okay? And it'll tell you what to put where for each day. It's very, very easy to do. And if you've ever got any problems, you can always just ask for help. And I'm not very far away. So I cut my fabrics. I write the date on the fabric. And this year I also, let's see if I can get one that you can actually see. January 15, you can see. I don't know whether you can see. Can you see that? So this one says January 15 and it has an arrow pointing down. So this is January 15th, lowest temperature for the day. And then my highest temperature will have the arrow pointing up. Because last year I only wrote on one of the pieces. So last year the pieces were like this, the triangles. And I just wrote the date on the cold piece and then just added the warmer piece to it. But this year I've had a year of doing this, so now I've fine-tuned it a bit. So I've worked out if I write on both pieces, it's less likely to get confusing, less likely to mess it up. So January the 15th arrow pointing down means that's the lowest temperature for January 15. And then here's a high one, January 19 pointing up, and there's January 19 pointing down. So that's those two. They've already been stitched together. So they've already been stitched together, waiting for their end pieces, which will be the blue ones, in my case, blue ones. But what size? Do I put the 3.5 inch on? Do I put the 2.5 inch on? Or do I put the 1.5 inch on? That depends what day this is. And you will find that out from the chart that will end up on the Facebook page, so you can follow along. It is very, very simple. You can do it daily if you want to. You can do it weekly if you want to, or you can do it monthly. Or you might be like me and do quite a few months at once. It's okay. Doesn't matter whether you get behind. You can't get in front because you don't know what your temperatures are going to be. None of us know that. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. So join me for the 2024 temperature quilt. Like I said, the first thing you need, conniver block template set. Now, if you've got any questions, just ask me.